Hey TK, we are going to jump into some math. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today in math. We are going to be starting a new kind of unit here. We're still working with Gus the Plus and we're still working on writing number sentences. But today we're going to talk about a new strategy that you can use with your number sentences. Now, strategy is a word that we might not have talked about before, but it's kind of just like using another tool. When we talk about our objectives, we always talk about what tools we can use to help us with our objectives. Strategies are also things that we can use to help us to solve the problems that we're working on. So when we're talking about our Gus the Plus problems or our story problems, like what we've been using in math, we're going to be learning another tool or strategy that we can use to help us solve it. So that's what our objective is today. Let's all say it together. Objective is what we are going to learn. I can write a number sentence and draw a picture to solve a problem. Ooh, so we already know about writing number sentences. That's something we've been doing for the last few weeks. But our new strategy that we're going to learn today is how we could also draw a picture to help us with our story problems. Yesterday, we solved some story problems with Gus the Plus, and we were using a story problem that I told you, using some mini erasers to be able to count. But sometimes when we work with bigger numbers, we might not have a lot of counters or even enough fingers to be able to count on. So there are other ways that we could be able to figure out how to count and add, like drawing a picture. So I'm going to give you an example now of what this might look like. I'm still going to be using story problems today, so that means that I'm going to be telling the story, and in the story there are going to be some things that we're going to be adding up with Gus the Plus. Because remember, Gus the Plus likes to take two things and put them together. He adds them up because more is better. So in our story problems, you're going to hear about some things that Gus the Plus is going to help us add up. And we're going to draw them out to help us get a better idea of what we're adding up. So let's listen to this story. One day I was walking in the park and I saw 3 green balloons. So I'm going to draw 3 green balloons. Then I saw 2 red balloons. So here I'm going to draw my 2 red balloons. How many balloons did I see in all? Now remember, our objective is to write a number sentence and draw a picture to solve our story problems. So our story problem was that I saw 3 red balloons and 2 green balloons in the park. I already drew my picture, so now I need to write my number sentence. A lot of those words that we talked about yesterday, like in all and all together, are things that you're going to hear in your story problems, right? In this story problem, it said, how many balloons are there in all? So that means that we're going to need to talk about the balloons and count them all up to help us write our number sentence. Now, what kind of numbers are we going to be putting in our number sentence? How are we going to figure that out? Because remember, the question was a how many question, which means that we're going to be needing to use some numbers to answer it. So I see some different colors here. And remember, in our story problem, we said 3 green balloons and 2 red balloons. So I think I'm going to start with those numbers. I had 3 green balloons and 2 red balloons. Now, since I want to know how many there are in all, I know that I need to use Gus the Plus to help me add these up. So I'm going to go ahead and stick Gus the Plus right there in the middle. And then it's asking us to put those 2 numbers together and add them up. So now, to figure out how many there are all there in our park, I'm gonna go ahead and touch and count. So here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted all the balloons here. And I'm gonna draw my equal sign because now I know that 3 and 2 balloons is 5 balloons. So not only did I write my number sentence here, but I was able to draw out the things that they talked about in the story problem. So that's gonna be what we're working on today. You have a sheet in your brand new packet that looks like this. I'm gonna show you on the computer here. Boop. It looks like this. This is gonna be your addition practice sheet. Notice it has some different things on it. It has a line here at the top. That's gonna be where you're gonna write your number sentences. It has a 10 frame and a number line. We're not gonna worry about that yet. Those are gonna be other strategies that we'll learn about later. But what you need to focus on is this box here at the bottom. That's the box that you can draw your pictures in because that's the strategy we're working on right now to help us with our number problems and our story problems and our number sentences. So you're gonna be using that sheet a lot. So I want you to put it in your whiteboard packet. Remember your whiteboard packet that I sent home with you guys? Just go ahead and stick it in there and use it with a whiteboard marker for practice. Now that we did an example together, I'm going to give you an example that you can practice on your own. So you can go ahead and erase this one that we worked on together, and now I'm going to give you one that you can do on your own. Okay, so now you should have out your practice sheet. Remember that line at the top? That's going to be where you write your number sentence, and the box at the bottom that looks kind of like this, that's going to be where you draw your picture. So I'm going to tell you a story problem, and what I need you to do is to draw a picture that shows me the story problem and write your number sentence solving the story problem. So here's your story problem for today. Miss O went walking in the park. She saw 4 purple flowers and 2 red flowers. How many flowers did Miss O see in all? So I'll say it again. Miss O went walking in the park. She saw 4 purple flowers and 2 red flowers. How many flowers did Miss O see in all? Okay, you guys are going to practice that one on your own. If you need to go back and watch our steps for how we were solving the story problem at the beginning of the video, you can do that. If you need help, you can let me know, but I believe in you guys. You guys are awesome, and go for it.